Resourceful Designer, episode 181, Moving the Needle for Your Design Business.
Welcome to the Resourceful Designer Podcast, offering solutions to streamline your graphic and web design business so you can get back to designing. And now, your host. He's owned the original Star Wars soundtrack on 8-track, cassette, vinyl, CD, and digital. Mark Dickout.
Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for tuning in. I always appreciate when you spend a little bit of time listening to me. In this episode, I'm going to discuss what you're doing to improve your business, and I'm going to share a tip that can make you look more professional. Now, what have I been up to? Well, not too much, really. My wife had 2 weeks holiday, and I decided to do the same. So I've stepped away from my business for the 2 weeks to spend a little time with her, and we had some family over visiting with us. We didn't really go anywhere, although we did spend some time. My son, or our son, was moving from one place to another in Ottawa, and we decided to go up and help him pack and help him get moved and all that stuff. So that was a lot of fun. It was very busy, but it wasn't really work-related. And now I'm winding down the second week of the holiday. We're doing a few little day trips here and there, but spending most of it at home, getting some stuff done that we were neglecting around the house. And I just decided to spend a little bit of time this afternoon to record this podcast episode. So I don't have anything really work-related to share with you, but I'm enjoying the time that I'm taking off. Now, one thing I do want to mention is over the last few episodes, I've been talking about coming up with a name for the Resourceful Designer community. And yes, I do call it the community, but I wanted something a little bit more catchy, if you will. Now, there's been some discussion in the Facebook group, and I've had a few emails, not as many as I was hoping for, but I got a few emails. And some of the candidates so far for names are Marks Makers, Resourcers, the Streamliners, because of my intro of streamlining your design business so you can get back to what you do best, designing. And somehow, Mark's Flying Saucers, although I have no idea what that one's all about, but that one seems to be gaining a lot of traction in the Facebook group. And one that I got in via email was Resourcefulites, and I'm actually kind of leaning towards that one. I like that, Resourcefulites. But there's still time. I've got no deadline to pick this, so if you have some sort of name, nickname, or moniker that you think would suit a listener of Resourceful Designer, you can either join in the conversation in the Facebook group or send me an email at feedback@resourcefuldesigner.com and let me know your thoughts. And now, this week's tip of the week. And this week's tip is, as I mentioned in the intro, a way to make you look more professional. And that is to have a professional headshot done of yourself. Now, on your website, you probably have an about page, and that page may talk a little bit about you. By the way, if you want to know how to make a really great about page, go back and listen to episode 52 of the podcast, where I shared how a great about page can attract design clients. But even on that one, there is part of the about page that should be about you, which means you should have a good photo of yourself. Now, you can also have your photo front and center. If you are your business, then why not showcase that you are the person people are dealing with? Clients love dealing with a person more than they like dealing with a business. So include your photo on there. That's why I have my photo on the homepage of Resourceful Designer, because I want you to know who you're listening to whenever you tune in each week. Well, my tip is that if you're going to share a photo, why not make it a professional headshot with good lighting, good composition, taken by somebody who understands and knows what a good picture looks like, a good photo. Yes, you can snap your own photo or find one from whatever that somebody took, but having a professionally shot photo will make a lot of difference. Not only does it make you look better, but it makes your business as a whole seem more professional because of it. And who knows? Maybe you could team up with a photographer, and a client coming to your website and seeing the really nice photo of you on the site could ask and maybe require design that requires a photographer that you could team up with. And not to mention that you can use these professional photos for your social media, for your promotional material, everything. Anywhere that you need to put your face, you are much better off using a professional headshot than the latest selfie you took of yourself or the latest candid photo that a family member snapped. So that's this week's tip of the week. If you're going to use a photo, why not a professional headshot? And now, moving the needle for your design business. Let me ask you a question. What have you done today, this week, this month, that will help grow your design business? What are you doing to move the needle? Isn't that a funny saying, moving the needle? I looked it up. It means making a significant difference, having a measurable statistic that will change as a result of an action. So let me ask you again. What are you doing to move the needle for your design business? What actions are you taking that will produce a measurable change in the statistics of your business? Statistics such as the number of clients you have, your revenue, or even something as simple as the process that you use in your day-to-day basis. What are you doing to move your business forward? For a business to prosper, it needs to make advancements. It needs to evolve. Think of car companies such as Ford or Honda. They don't just develop a new make or model of vehicle and let it be and hope that for years people are going to buy that. No, every year they make advancements and they evolve each and every one of their models. The 2020 Ford Edge or the 2020 Honda Civic are better than their 2019 model counterparts, which were better than the 2018 models, and so forth and so forth. Take Subway Restaurant, the biggest restaurant chain in the world. And yes, if you didn't know, they're even bigger than McDonald's. Well, Subway did not get to where they are by riding the status quo and always offering the exact same sandwiches. No. These companies, Ford, Honda, Subway, McDonald's, they all grew because they evolved with the time. They experimented. They introduced new options. They put out new features. These companies are constantly moving the needle. Now, I don't expect your design business to compare on the same levels as Subway or Ford, because if they did, I seriously doubt you'd be listening to my podcast. But if you're not consciously trying to improve your business, there's a good chance that others who are trying to improve their business will pass you by. Even if you are happy with the current state of your business, you're happy with the revenue or the amount of money you're making through your projects and your clients, and you're happy with the number of clients you have, you think your workload is just perfect. Well, that doesn't mean it will always be that way. If it did, your town or your city would have a family-run general store instead of a Walmart or some other big box chain. Because even the best clients shut down, move away, or you lose them for one reason or the other. I've been in business for almost 15 years now, and I've lost a whole bunch of clients. Some of them have gone bankrupt, some of them have closed, some of them have merged and didn't need my services, and some of them just moved on. And if I didn't have things in place to move the needle for my business, to grow and to expand, my business could have dwindled away till nothing, but it didn't. New technologies and new software are always coming out that makes our job easier. But the problem is it also makes it easier for clients to do things on their own, things that don't require our services. When I started my business, if you needed a website, you had to hire a web developer or a web designer. Nowadays, many clients are turning to Wix or Squarespace or whatever platform and designing their own websites. So you have to do things in order to help grow your business, to reach out to people and say you do need a designer. And even things like your income. As time goes by, you'll need to adjust your income to accommodate your ever-changing lifestyle. Maybe your family is going to grow. Maybe you're going to move and you're going to need more money. Not to mention inflation. You know, they always say that inflation grows at a steady pace. Well, I have a feeling that pace is a deep run sprint, the way prices are going up lately. Now, it is absolutely great to be happy with the current state of your business. I'm extremely happy with mine, but that's as long as you don't get complacent. You need to avoid getting into habits and into routines that will keep you in that status quo. So even though you're happy with your business, if you don't do something to move that needle, to progress, you'll find that eventually you'll become out of the loop. You'll be outdated, and people won't want to use your services anymore. So how do you go about moving the needle? Well, hopefully you're already doing some of this stuff. But various things you can do is make sure you stay up to date with technology and trends. Even if you don't adopt them, know what they are. I don't use Squarespace and I don't use Wix, but I try to keep up on what they're offering in case they come up with some new innovation that I may want to offer to my clients through WordPress. You could learn a new skill, something that makes you more valuable to your clients, something that you could introduce to them as a new option and earn you more money. You could find new avenues to promote your business, whether it's through partnerships, through advertising, through sponsorships, through direct mail, through networking. Every new client you can pick up through whatever means is a way to progress your business. Speaking of clients, you could become more involved with your existing clients' businesses, meaning get to know their business. Talk to them not just about the design, but about all aspects of their business. Become curious. Become a strategic partner, somebody that they could turn to and ask for advice. I have several clients that will call me up out of the blue to ask me a business question that's not related to design or websites or anything like that, but just because they trust my opinion and they want to get my thoughts on something. When you can develop that sort of relationship with a client, those clients become advocates of yours and will help grow your business. Now, internally, you could streamline your process and become more efficient. Develop new processes. Embrace new tools. I'll let you in on a little secret here. For the past few years, I've been telling you how I am a pencil and paper guy. I have my notebook here where I keep track of all my projects. But you know what? I've been experimenting with Trello lately. There are various platforms and I decided to give it a try. And so far, I'm liking what I'm seeing. Now, I'm still using my notebook and my trusted pencil. But the more I'm trying Trello, maybe there's a possibility I might decide to move to it because it could make me more efficient. And finally, build a team if you don't already have one. I've talked on the podcast before on the importance of having a team, whether that's contractors that you use for various work or a virtual assistant. Now, you may be thinking, well, I don't really have the money to invest in somebody like a virtual assistant. And that's exactly what I thought before I got one. But then I realized that the little bit that I pay her frees up so much of my time to do other stuff so that I can help move the needle on my business. So there are so many different things you can do to help grow and avoid getting into habits or routines that'll keep you in that status quo. So once again, let me ask you, what are you doing to move the needle for your design business? Figure out one step that you could take today that will help you in the long run. That's what moving the needle is all about. Growing a design business, or any business for that matter, is a journey. And I know it's cliche to say, but it's true that you need to do it one step at a time. And even baby steps count. So what steps are you taking to move the needle for your design business? Leave me a comment for this episode at resourcefuldesigner.com/episode 181. So that's it for this episode. I don't have a question of the week. I did not look to see if anything came in. I just decided that I wasn't going to offer one this week. I want to get this one out, so it's short and sweet this time around. But I would love to get your question and answer it on a future episode of the podcast. If you have anything you'd like to ask, please visit resourcefuldesigner.com/feedback and submit your question. And don't forget, if you have a name that you think would be good for the Resourceful Designer community, let me know. Either in the Facebook group, which if you're not a member, you can join at resourcefuldesigner.com/group, or send me an email, feedback@resourcefuldesigner.com. And if you could do me a favor, tell your designer friends about Resourceful Designer. Let them know it's available anywhere that podcasts can be found, including on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. Spread the word and help grow the show. So that's it for this week. I plan on getting back to my holidays, spending some more quality time with my wife before hunkering down next week and getting back to work. I am Mark DeCote, wishing you all the best with your graphic design business and reminding you to stay creative.
Thanks for listening to the Resourceful Designer Podcast at resourcefuldesigner.com.